Hey guys, it's me back for another video. I'm so sorry I haven't done a video in absolutely ages, but now I'm here again and I'm gonna be reviewing a film that is a spin-off of one of my most favourite ever Disney films, The Lion King. And if you know me, then you will know that The Lion King is just like my absolutely favourite film ever. It was like the first film I ever saw at the theatre, and I'm getting emotional talking about it. I have the DVD that I've not even opened yet. I've seen it so many times. I even have the frickin' VHS, from the frickin' 90s with like the actual like frickin', it's there. So if you're a fan of the original Lion King, you'd have probably been a fan of all the other iconic classic Disney films that came out in the 90s, such as The Jungle Book, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Aristocats, Sword in the Stone, to name just a few. So this spin-off is trying to match the success of those brilliantly made classics, and instead makes a huge mockery of all of it. And it is so disappointing. So to set things off, really, The Lion Guard Return of the Roar is meant to be set sort of in line with when the second film was set. So like Kiara is growing up, wanting to be Queen of the Pride Lands. And so Kiara is there, and we are also introduced to the main character, Kion, who is the second-born son of Simba, who's just sort of appeared out of nowhere and made absolutely no appearance in the second film whatsoever, which was confusing in itself. And obviously we have some voice changes, so Simba is no longer voiced by Matthew Broderick, Kiara is voiced by somebody else as well, as is Timon. Obviously Kion is voiced by a little kid, and several other new characters are introduced. Another notable character is Bunga, who is immensely annoying. He is like a honey badger who is like one of the bravest of the Lion Guard. However, he just is so tremendously irritating. I can't stand him by the end of it. It's just like, what the hell? He even has his own song.
Flying through the trees like a busy bee going.
So the main plotline of The Lion Guard is Kion, the main character, with his group of friends, which consist of a cheetah, a hippo, a honey badger, an emu, I think, and himself, I think, yeah. And they are tasked with the job of like looking after the Pride Lands and protecting it from like every evil hyena and vulture, basically. And he has the gift, Kion has the gift of like the roar of like the elders, so like lions from the past come to his aid, and he's able to like roar like an adult lion and scare off any predators, basically. And his group, the Lion Guard, just protect the whole Pride Lands, and they're basically a force for good, and that's mainly the plot of this little mini film. So here's another what the fuck plot twist that is included in this new film. We find out sort of a backstory, originator story of how the Lion Guard was originally formed, and this included Scar, who is the bad guy, Mufasa's brother in the first film. We find out that he was the leader of the Lion Guard, being Mufasa's brother, of course, as is Kion being Kiara's brother. So he was the leader of the Lion Guard, and he had a group of lions around him which consisted of the Lion Guard, obviously. He had the power of the roar that was meant to be used for good, however he wanted to use it to take over the Pride Lands, and he tried to get the rest of his team on his side. However, they took the moral high ground and were like, no, because we're meant to be doing good things. And he was like, fine, I'll just destroy all of you other lions and try to take over Pride Lands myself. However, this means using the roar for evil means that the roar gets taken off you. So Scar was defeated by Mufasa for the first time, and somehow left to hang around the Pride Lands, even though he just tried to overthrow the king, which seems really weird in the first place. So now, in this version, it is now Kion's turn to take up the gauntlet, as it were, and become the new leader of the Lion Guard with his group of friends. Which seems also weird, seeing as he is a really little lion cub who's expected to protect everybody from the massive predators that the Pride Lands consist of. So then we find out about Kion's group of friends that he tries to form the Lion Guard with. This consists of a bird, a cheetah, a hippo, and a honey badger, who is the most annoying sidekick character I've ever seen in a kids' film movie. Oh my god, have I wanted to frickin', if I could have put my hand into the screen and ripped his frickin' furry face off the screen, I would have done it, I swear. So in this film, throughout the Lion Guard, there's also mention of another sort of evil force, the hyenas, going on. There's also mention of the Outlands, which was a big part of the second film of Simba's Pride, where the rest of the lions who weren't in Simba's Pride had to go because they were banished. They don't really appear in this movie, even though it's meant to be set on the basis of the second film, which is confusing, and the hyenas are somehow still in this movie despite having cleared off in the first one. So that again raises questions. And the hyenas in this film are really caricatured. Like, I think it's really made for like really little kids, as like a lot of them they're really sort of comical and like fat and stupid, made to look really stupid and incapable. And they have one song, and to their credit, it's okay. It's like we will strike tonight or something, and it's so kind of meaningless. It's just like they make a plan and it's a really stupid plan, and it's nowhere near as good as what kind of plan Scar had in the first one. Also, some of the characters aren't depicted as they would have been in the first and second films. For instance, Kiara at the beginning, like in the second film, she had her own song dedicated to being confused about her own life and not wanting to be Queen of the Pride Lands because she didn't want to be Queen of the Pride Lands. However, in this version, in the Lion Guard, she acts like all a spoilt brat, like prim and proper. I'm training to be Queen of the Pride Lands because I'm special and I'm a princess. Ooh. What the hell? She wasn't even that character in the second film. You completely changed her complete personality. Simba as well. He is meant to be this really regal, fair, just, proud lion who has gone on a journey and like learnt loads of things from the first film to the second one, and he's meant to be like this, you know, proper majestic, likeable character. That's the whole reason why we like him in the first place, because he's learnt so much and we've learnt as he's learnt. And in this version he seems borderline racist, saying that only lions can be in the Lion Guard and no one else is good enough. No one else in the Pride Lands are good enough lions are better than any other creature in the Pride Lands, basically. And he just comes across as a bit of a bigot, to be honest. So overall, my biggest gripe with this Lion Guard movie is that what singularly made every other film way better than this one, well, I'll just give you an example. And then if you go and compare that to a certain song in this film, namely this.
Papa, Papa, Zuka, Zuka, diving, diving, Zaba, Zaba, go, go, go.
You will very, very much see what I mean when I say this was a horrendously... Oh, I have no words. So the whole Scar backstory of him being in the Lion Guard and attempting to take over the Pride Lands and overthrowing Mufasa, just throws a big massive spanner in the works again, really, because we're just thrown into a whole well of confusion. So we are led to believe that Mufasa, having put a stop to Scar's attempted overthrow, would then have knowledge of Scar's long-term plan to try to take over the Pride Lands, So then you'd think that he'd try to like put a stop to that. However, that doesn't happen, because that then leads to what happens in the first film, where Scar does actually take over the Pride Lands and kills his brother. And you'd think that Mufasa would actually would have like prior knowledge to that, and not therefore have such a massive look of betrayal in his face just before he's thrown off a cliff. So if you're a mega hardcore fan of Disney and The Lion King, and Lion King is your favourite all-time film, I don't really recommend that you go and watch this, although if you're curious and intrigued and you feel like you have to, then I'm not going to stop you. But out of 10, I would probably give this probably a 1/2, just because it's so shallow, so cheap, and some characters are just so basely annoying and irritating and so in your face that I just can't stand it, to be honest. I just can't stand it. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is my review of The Lion King, The Return of the Roar. So yeah, that's the end of my review. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you're a massive fan of Disney and The Lion King, or just want to put your comments down below, I'd really appreciate it. Put them down here. I will see you guys in a brand new video, which hopefully should be very soon. So see you later. Bye!